Welcome to the Overly Opinionated. Rest in peace to fallen kings,
And
queens,
free
and
guys.
in-betweens.
That's fire. I like that addition. And free the guys.
Free the guys for sure.
We got an interesting topic today.
Yeah, man. You know, this podcast is not for the faint of heart. That's not, like, if you're not here to have conversations that you wouldn't necessarily have on a day-to-day basis, then, you know, this, I would say, maybe tweak your listening prowess. Because I'm interested in having these conversations. I'm interested in having these conversations more regularly. And I realize that some people don't want to. But I think, like, a lot of times that's just avoidance of the topics.
That, and then what, it's funny because, like, our topics are everyday conversations for us.
Yeah.
And they're not everyday conversations for other people.
True.
It's kind of funny because, like, nothing is off limits when we talk.
Never.
So this is gonna be a good one, I feel like.
Let's talk about sex, baby. Let's talk about, not you and me, but that's last podcast. But I wanted to talk about porn, and, like, our relationship with it, and how society see, like, you know, society's relationship with it.
Do you think society acknowledge it as big as it is? Pause.
Not as a whole, no.
Pause when I say that.
And not as a whole, pause. But, like, I think in a way, porn is hidden. Like, it's that thing that we all know is there. We all have access to it. Mm-hmm. Most of us access it. But I feel like it's like under the radar. It's like an underground thing.
Why do you think it's like that?
Because sex is uncomfortable.
Not for me.
That's not what I mean. The topic of sex in public is uncomfortable. I think most people, you know how when you became like a teenager, mm-hmm. and a sex scene would happen and you was watching movies with your mom,
yeah.
That feeling that you got,
mm-hmm.
I think a lot of people get that feeling just talking about sex with someone who they're not having sex with.
Do you think it comes like that?
We gotta, I mean,
I'm sorry.
We have to be.
Do you think it's like that because of our parents?
In a way, yeah. I think there's just a lot of, I don't know, I think back to, like, you know, school and how you had to be a certain way publicly in order to not be weird, in order to not be laughed at for whatever it was that you enjoyed. You had to enjoy the same thing as everyone else or else you were a weirdo. Mm-hmm. And I think a lot of people never get that liberation to really express themselves sexually publicly.
And it's funny you say that because a lot of people enjoy sex. So
I would say most people. Most people, I think.
So for us not to be able to talk about it comfortably is kind of crazy. Like,
I agree with you, but I think I feel that way about everything, and I think there's a certain level of privacy that I don't need and that I disagree with, that most people want, and we've talked about this before.
Yep.
You feel like some things are off limits,
yes,
and I just don't. I think, like, open book, like, have at it, and I'm willing to talk about anything, and most people aren't. Mm-hmm. And I think there are certain things that people want on that shelf. People, like, literally want certain things, certain aspects of their lives on that shelf that's untouchable to everyone else, and I think sex is one of those things.
And I just find it crazy because of the amount of people who engage in it. That's why I find that's just crazy to me. So, got a couple questions for you.
Well, before you ask me those questions, you just made a claim, and I want to know why. Why does that seem crazy to you?
Because, okay, so many people enjoy food, and they like to share that. Like, a lot of people enjoy sex. Why is that not something shared? And it's so common. Like, oh, you just had a baby. Oh, it's everywhere. Like, it's legitly everywhere, but we can't speak about it. Yes.
Goodness.
Like, it's everywhere. Like, why can we speak about it? Why do you feel like we should not speak about this when a lot of people love this very aspect of life?
Do you think that a large percent of the population enjoying something warrants it being shared?
Yes. Sports.
Well, you could name a bunch of things that people enjoy and share. I just don't know if
Okay.
I don't know about the relationship between the two of those things.
Okay, besides sex, what's a lot of people enjoy that's not really shared a lot?
Fuck, that's a great question. That's a great question.
So it's like that's what is weird to me. It's legitimately weird to me because I don't.
Can you say legitimately or legit?
Legitimately? I'm sorry. Like it's like that's only one of the few things that so many people enjoy, and it just makes people uncomfortable to talk about.
Man, that is a great point. That's a great point. That's a great point. Do drugs fall into that same category? No, I'm serious. I guess it can't because alcohol.
Yeah. So yeah, like drinks every Friday, or what's your favorite type of drinks? Like that is a topic. Like sex is legit. Like either the only one on the list or of 3, maybe 5. So I want to know why that makes people so uncomfortable to talk about when they enjoy it.
That's interesting. Don't forget. Did you forget your questions?
No.
Okay. Don't forget them.
Okay.
But this is a track that I want to go on because you know how I get out. Like I want to give every perspective fair analysis.
Okay.
So I would love for the question to be answered. Why would this thing that we all enjoy not be a topic worthy of public conversation? And when I say public, I don't mean like you have to be out literally in public and talking about it, but in situations where, you know, we're with the fam, I don't know why cousins can't speak about these certain things. Like, why does it make you feel awkward when you're with people who, you know, qualify as the people that you would talk about this kind of thing with? Like I talked to my mom about sex.
I'm not on that level.
I talk to my mom about anything, but I also talk to most people about anything.
What I talk to my mom about sex, I can't imagine a conversation where it'll come up. Like I wouldn't shy away if she brought it up or anything, but it would be unlike her to do something like that.
Yeah.
And it's not. I'm not gonna just bring it up, but if she want to talk about it, we could.
I might just bring it up.
Like,
I'm not gonna lie.
Really?
Yeah.
Like
if my wife give me that look while we over at my mom's, I'll be like, "Yep, we gotta go. I'm about to go break her back real quick."
That is crazy. I almost made a West Virginia joke, bro.
All right, dude.
I'm sorry. Like, see, normally I don't think before I talk.
No, look, I realize that where I am is super far on the spectrum, but I'm curious as to the reason that other people are on the other side of the spectrum, where there's only like, you know, 2 people on the planet that you'll talk to about sexual endeavors. And I'm genuinely curious what would be the reason for that, especially when other things that everyone else enjoys, you know, you're into talking about with. And I guess the other question would be, if there are other things that you would feel embarrassed to express your enjoyment, what are they? And why those 2, you know?
It's only one I can think of, not for me, but they should be embarrassed, is anime.
Doing drugs. Oh.
Anime.
Anime?
Yeah. Don't share that shit.
What?
Don't share that shit. Tell me you do heroin or some shit. Don't share you watch Battlestar Galactica.
That's not anime.
Bro, I'm not trying to hear that
That's
shit.
not even anime.
But keep that shit to yourself. Like, but
why? Wait, what's your beef with anime?
that shit is weird, man. Especially,
This is exactly why people don't talk about sex.
No,
this
sex
reaction
ain't weird.
This reaction is exactly why. Like, think about it. Think about it though, for real. Like, think back to all the times that something was happening, or like somebody brought up something. You think about all the times that somebody got made fun of because they found out someone did something sexual like during high school or middle school, right? Like, ooh, I heard he like a figure in his butt. Like,
Okay,
you see what I'm saying?
Yep, I get that. That just made me think. We can't talk about sex now. Well, we can, but it's not normal now because the standards of sex changed. Because there wasn't no age limit on when you can fuck people.
Huh?
There wasn't an age limit of who you can have sex with, right? You were aware of that, right?
We talking about like hundreds of years ago?
Yeah. So
yeah.
maybe it was common back then to talk about who you sleep with. But because they changed that, that's probably why it dimmered down or whatever.
I don't know what that has to do with us as adults. Like, I'm 27 years old.
Yeah.
But
like you said, if it's not accepted as a society, you shouldn't be speaking on it, right? So if I find out you watching child porn or whatever, you should never speak on that, right?
Facts.
So you think that's part of the reason a lot of people don't speak on it?
You're saying that it's almost a guilty pleasure.
Yeah.
Ah, man, that's sad.
Yeah.
Just because there's no reason to feel guilt most times. Which, put a pin in that because there's definitely something to bring back. But before we get off it, I want to give the perspective of people who do want to say that the intimate aspect of sex is why it's not necessarily a topic of casual conversation. So there's an intimacy that it's hard to give this perspective because I don't have it, and we have like multiple people have hit me up to tell me that when we're covering the female perspective, we're so fucking off. Like we're so far off. And I get that. Like I understand it. I just hope that y'all give us be patient with us and give us the credit that we at least we attempt
We're trying
to give a perspective that isn't ours. Like we accept that there is a perspective that we don't have, locked down. But the perspective I would want to say would be you may lose a piece of that intimacy if it is no longer as private.
It's hard for me to accept that because some people consider like a date, like a special date, intimate, and they would love to share. Oh, he had the rose petals and this and that, and it doesn't lose the value of what you went through in that moment. It just made you appreciate it more when you're able to share something like that. Because a lot of people do books and pictures of the rose petals to the bed, show their hotel room is all decorated with balloons. Like, they show that off.
Yeah, but they don't tell you that they spent, 15 minutes in doggy, though.
Because it's the sex aspect of it, though. That's why. Just the sex is, like, you're telling me the only thing, if you speak about it, it lose the feelings of it is sex, the only thing?
The intimacy.
I don't think it's lost. Like, that's just hard for me. What?
I would love to get a perspective, though. I would love to get that perspective, though, because I think there may be an argument, not one that I would make, not one that I wouldn't argue against. I agree with what you're saying, but I think there may be an argument that there is an intimacy in privacy. In being, of a small group or possibly just a couple of people that knows what you did. There may be an intimacy in there that we're discounting. We're just not acknowledging it. That's possible.
Yes. That or just comfort.
Yeah, and if that's the case, man, like by all means, what I hope isn't happening though is that we eliminate a talking point. We eliminate a category from, everyday speak that just, why wouldn't it? Why, like you said, we talk about everything else that we all enjoy, but not this thing. And also, the sharing of ideas is a great help to me.
That's a fact.
So, let's get into your questions here.
So, first question for you. Has porn helped or ruined your relationship overall?
It overall has helped. but that's not without hiccups. For sure, that's not without hiccups. And for all of my loved ones that only want to go so far into my own sexual escapades, this is probably the time. This is probably the time to log on off of here.
So, another question.
Wait, you got to answer the question too, Gabe.
I don't want to forget my questions, but it only helped. Yeah, it only helped.
It didn't affect you negatively at all, huh? That's what's up, man.
My next question is: if you removed porn, would you notice the difference?
Yeah.
Is it like a major or slight? And would it be for better or for worse?
I would have to ask my wife how major it would be, but I typically have a higher sex drive than my wife.
Uh-huh.
And on the days where I don't get none, I think that's when it would affect me most. Uh-huh. But on the days where her sex drive more matches mine or even exceeds mine, uh-huh, I think that's where it would affect her most. Because I only got so many in me a day. No, like, I'm not joking. Like, I only have some, like, I'm not even interested after 3. Like, after 3, hang me up, bro. Like, I'm good. But if on a day where, like, I have already taken care of my needs, like, once, don't get me wrong, like, I still got 2 more in me. Like, you gonna get your time. But imagine this is a day, and this has happened before. Imagine this is a day where she can go for 3 or 4.
Yeah.
Two of those is on your own, lady.
You gotta start pulling your weight. For me, because it made it better for me, I feel like I would be missing something if we remove it. Like,
well, what is it given to your relationship?
Better sex.
Explain.
So it gives me ideas that I just would not have thought of. Like,
bro, I love that so much.
Like, and it's like, damn, like, you see this shit and be like, oh yeah, my baby next. Like it just keeps it fresh.
Yeah.
Which is so weird. Like,
yeah.
It just keeps it fresh and keeps me excited for her.
Yeah.
Like, and I love that shit.
Like, it's legit sometimes studying, bro. Like, it is legit sometimes studying.
That forms my next question. So
before we go on to your next question, though, like, don't you don't gotta
the
speak
only
through
reason
these,
because you saying things that
might
make me ask my next
but
question.
this might also not might also this is also a reason for the sharing of ideas amongst peers.
Yeah,
and however you want to take that, whoever it is that is a possible candidate for talking about sex with, whether it be like the homies, whoever it might be. This is another reason for it. It's not just porn where you can get these great ideas from. Bro, I was on Instagram last week, and one of my homies, a lady, she was posting like these BDSM toys that she just recently got, and one of them looked crazy. So I was like, "Excuse me, excuse me, ma'am. Where did you get that?" She sent me the link. I bought that bitch immediately, bro. I bought that joint immediately.
See, like that. See, I love that aspect because I think that shit is beautiful.
It is.
Like, that shit is truly incredible, bro.
Yeah, and I'm not gonna lie, I didn't even know I was into that type of shit.
See,
and here we are.
Like, seeing it and knowing you're curious makes it better.
Yeah,
like sometimes you don't know what you're curious of, and then when you see, you be like, oh yeah, that's fire.
Facts.
Like, I think that shit just makes it better.
Yeah, facts.
And
so go ahead with your question, man, because I don't want you to lose it.
Okay, so how often a week do you watch porn? Now, when I say watch it, seeing it just come across your feed is one thing, but then watch it, actually watch it. Like, how many encounters throughout the week? Is it daily? Is
weekends included?
Sure, yeah.
3 or 4 times a week.
Do you encounter it or actually watch it?
I thought we were just talking about like watching it.
Encounter.
Oh, encounter it?
Yeah.
Every day.
Every single day?
Every day.
Like, do you interact with it?
Not necessarily. If I like something on TikTok, is that...
No way we call it TikTok porn, bro.
Hey, look, I don't know where we... Like, when you said if you see it on your timeline, where are we talking about? I don't see porn on my timeline anywhere.
You ever had Twitter?
Yeah, but I don't now.
Okay. So, all right.
Oh, if we're talking about hardcore porn, then only, like I said, 4 times a week.
Okay.
Max.
So, for me, interactions, I will probably see it daily. But actually watch 2 to 3. 3 is pushing. 3 is a long week for me. But every
weekends
day,
included.
Yeah, weekends included.
I don't watch porn on the weekend.
Yeah, me either.
And I don't really have a reason why. I just don't. I think because I have more access. Like when I wake up, my wife is usually awake. Like there's a. All right, look, this is gonna sound morbid. I hate that I have to preface my jokes this way.
Me too.
I hate that I have to do that.
It's sometimes
I might cut this out.
All right,
but I might put it back, like at the end. This is just a joke. Like most of this, I don't feel this way about my wife, but. Man, when I wake up on the weekends, it's a warm body over there. Like we might as well do what we gotta do. Like we can give the hand a break.
If my girl is home, I'm almost never watching porn.
Oh yeah. Well, wait. Nah. If she's home,
yeah.
Even if she sleep,
nah. Nope.
Because you can't get caught. You can't get caught.
No close calls over here. And that's so weird.
Because you were just against being private.
Listen, me and my woman can talk about sex until we fall asleep. But there is no way she about to catch me beating my Peter.
Wait, she never did?
Never.
She never did?
No, she never will. She ain't gonna be home.
No, I done got caught a couple times. I'm not gonna lie to you.
Couple
times.
Y'all still together?
Couple times, man. It's so embarrassing.
Oh my God.
It's so embarrassing. Which is weird that it's embarrassing because we just talking about how like we all do this. And I get so embarrassed.
That is crazy, bro.
I get so embarrassed.
I couldn't handle it. I
Calm down, man.
Bro, I can't. I could not. And it's weird because I would love to catch my woman doing that.
Me too. Me too.
But if she catch me, it's the end of the world.
Yeah.
Like, I don't know.
It's the most embarrassing feeling.
She will never be home, bro. I'm telling you. That just can't happen to me. Like, wait, when you say multiple times, like 2 to 3?
Yeah. Yeah.
What did you say?
Other time. What do you mean? What do I say?
Like,
bro, I'm king. I am king of pretending that's not what I'm doing. I'm the king of pretending that's not what I'm doing, bro.
She caught you 2 to 3 times.
Yep.
But how many times did she actually know you were doing it?
She knew I was doing it, but every time. Damn. Every time she knows what I'm doing. But I will never admit that in the moment.
Damn. Yeah, I don't blame you.
Like, no, these headphones are in at 2 a.m. because this podcast is crazy.
Listen, I'm just not that horny to do that. I can't do it if she's in the house. I can't.
It makes one of us, dog.
Yeah, bro, I can't, bro. She, like you said, there's a warm body right there.
It's not when she's asleep. She's a different human being. When she's asleep, the chances of me waking her up and getting what I'm looking for, extremely low.
That's a tough one.
Well, in my head, the chances of rejection are so much higher, and I only say that because don't wake me up for shit. Like, don't wake me up for anything.
That's where I'm. On the other hand, I'm just saying yes so I can go back to sleep. Like, yeah.
Back to sleep is barely a thing for me.
So is there anything that can happen for that to not make you uncomfortable?
I would love to say yeah, but I can't.
So why is that though?
I don't know.
I'm trying to think if there anything that can have to make. No, bro.
Well, you wouldn't know. It's never happened to you.
But I can't let that happen to me. And there's a reason I can't let it happen to me. And I'm trying to see if there anything that can happen to make me not feel this way.
Wait. You are just glossing over the fact you said there's a reason that this can't happen to you. What would that reason be?
Of getting caught. Like, no.
What is the reason that
embarrassment.
Getting caught?
I don't know why.
Why is it embarrassing, though?
I don't know. I genuinely don't
It shouldn't
know.
be, though.
Correct.
Like, we all masturbate, bro.
Yes, but it should... Why does that make me embarrassed? Bro, I really don't know the answer to that. I don't know why.
Me neither.
But I'm sure... No, that's not, because there's some wild people out there. I can't put a finger on why that makes you uncomfortable.
Me neither, but bro, in the moment too,
damn.
ooh.
I would be more mad if she caught me, didn't say anything, and sat there and watched me. And what if she told you afterwards? How would that make you feel?
What?
If she told you afterwards? Damn, you was really getting off in there.
This is one that I'm not able to answer because I will be putting more than just my business out there.
You gotta tell me that answer off there.
Yeah, I got you.
Because I told my girl multiple occasions, like, I would love to catch her.
Man,
like,
it's a dream. It's a dream.
I want you to know.
I look for those pornos.
I am trying to.
I look for those porn videos.
Like, so, do you think at any point, including now, like, have you ever been addicted to porn? And also, what would you consider an addiction?
That's a good question. I don't know. I guess I have a difficulty answering the question because if we're talking about do you do something a lot?
Mm-hmm.
Yes. If we're talking about if you don't do it, is your day affected?
Mm-hmm.
No. And that's usually the indicator of addiction. If you don't have the substance or the behavior, then it affects your day negatively. And I can't say that that's ever been the case for me. But there has been a time where I would say between 18 and 20.
Porn was every day.
Every day. Every day of the week.
That's when I found out I had a limit. Your dick I didn't know that was possible.
Nobody in the house. Nobody in the house all day. Nah, bro. One of my favorite jokes, like stand-up comedy jokes. The comedian was talking about how at one point it was like, I'm not even enjoying this anymore. Like,
no,
why?
That's for real.
Who am I doing this for?
No, bro, that's a real thing. Like, I know he went through that because I went through that. Like, he was speaking from experience. Like, that shit is legit.
Who am I doing this for?
Have
you ever been addicted?
I'm thinking. Now, if I wasn't having sex, I will say probably yes. Because I feel like mood swings will come with that. And I would consider that like a side effect of withdrawal. So I would say yes on that. But in my current state now, I would say no. That's tough for me to say. Because sometimes like now it's entertainment for me.
Yeah.
So it's like I can watch that like TV.
Yep.
But I don't watch it like TV.
Sometimes I do. I would say at least once out of the 4 times that I'm literally watching porn a week, I am watching it with no expectations of like sexual stimulation.
Oh, same. When I say I don't watch it like TV, I can watch TV every day. I don't watch porn every single day.
Got you.
Yeah. So there is times I'm not even trying to get a nut. Like, I'm just watching it. Like, I'm entertained.
Yep.
And that is it. And I feel like that's a sign of addiction for me.
Really?
I feel like, yeah. Like, I don't know. Because it used to be just for a nut. Now, it's more than that. It's, again, entertainment. And I feel like I took it past the level of what it was for. So that's why I would say yes.
Really? Okay. Yeah, I guess if that's a criterion, then I would agree that I do that same thing. But typically, I'm like, well, what will I be using next time? Or if I'm like,
Yeah.
I'm definitely having sex with my wife today. So what are we gonna do? Like, I'm not being stimulated right now sexually, but I am planning future sexual stimulation, whether it be with my wife or Doleezy. But I guess I don't disagree that could be seen as overdoing it.
Could you go the rest of your life without porn?
Yeah.
Me too, but I don't want to.
Yeah, me neither.
Okay, I feel like that's a problem, though. I don't know why, but I feel like that's just a problem.
So when you said you feel like that's a problem, I immediately plugged in other things. Pause. I immediately plugged other vices into that sentence. Mm-hmm. Could you go without meth? Yeah. And if someone's response to that question was yes, I could, but I don't want to though.
Yeah. See.
Yeah.
Like, and
interesting. But that, I guess, how is that any different from could you go without cheesecake? Yes, but I don't want to. What's the difference? What's the difference between that and actually having sex? Is it how often you do it per week? Like, is it how often you do it? Let's say you have sex 4 times a week. You know, just replacing the number of times that you do, like the porn and the sex.
That's a good week.
4 times?
Yeah.
For real?
4 times a week? Hell yeah, that's a good week.
Oh, you got a kid.
Oh, yeah.
Damn.
Don't have them motherfuckers.
Damn.
If you care about sex, don't.
Wow.
Yeah. That's a great week. Wait. If 4, hold on. If 4 is not a good week for you.
Every day. Every single day. Every day.
What?
Every day. Every single day. That's a good week. Is every day. 4 times, average.
You are blessed. That is crazy.
Yeah. Yeah, 4 times. That's like,
wow.
Somebody wasn't feeling good.
Wow,
that week. Yeah.
That's nutty.
Literally. But no, like if you replace porn with the act of having sex with your partner, like whether that be your boyfriend, girlfriend, wife, whatever, your booty call, whatever, is it similarly addictive behavior to say, or is it like an addictive response to say, yes, I could go without sex for the rest of my life, but I don't want to? What makes that sound so addicted? And don't get me wrong, I agree that sounds a little...
probably the stigma on sex.
Oh, I did plug in another thing that did have the stigma.
Yeah.
So meth, like, of course, people are looking for you to be addicted to it. Ah, that's a great point.
That's
because it didn't sound the same with cheesecake.
It doesn't, because cheesecake ain't bad, but
wow,
porn's not bad. But
no, but it is though. That. Yeah.
So that's probably why. That's probably why it feels wrong.
Okay.
So that's the tough one. So, do you think it's a problem if someone give up sex for porn?
Do I think it's a problem?
So, let's say you stop having sex with your wife because you're watching so much porn.
Yeah, that would be a problem, but not because sex is a thing that like has to happen. It's a problem because there's an expectation of happiness from my wife. Like there's an expectation of satisfaction.
Mm-hmm.
She has an expectation for me, one that I have fed into, of being satisfied in a certain way, and I am taking that away from her without her input whatsoever.
So you would consider that a con for porn, right?
If that were the case, yes. And that is so. I would love to get into the bad sides that I have seen, because you said it's only helped your relationship. For me, that's not the case. And that what you just talked about is one of the things that has, and I brought it up earlier a little bit. It's one of the things that has affected my relationship negatively on the porn side. Like I said, if there is a day, like on a normal day, I can push it, but normal day, I have 3 in me. If I expend one of those on porn, that typically doesn't affect our, marital situation.
Yeah.
But if my wife is looking for 3 from me, after 2, I'm going to be like, oh, look, lady, like, I got nothing for you.
I gave it all I got.
And I could have saved that one. Like, it could have.
Uh-huh.
And I guess that would be a negative aspect, because, it's not as if that doesn't affect her ever.
Right.
And because it affects her, and it only affects her negatively in that instance, I got to count that in the L's column for porn and my relationship.
That another con, not that it happens to me, but sometimes put them expectations on people, which it shouldn't.
That was the biggest con for me across the board with porn, and that was before I was in a relationship with my wife.
Yep. Like, I can say the same thing. I can agree with you on that, because that happened with me. It's like they create a perfect scene that you expect to happen.
There's never been bad chemistry in porn. There's never been bad chemistry in porn.
So when you see it, you think this is what it's about to be like, and it's nothing like that at all. Like, that's not the case. Like, there's prep, there's unexpected turns and shit like that. That's just not how it plays out.
And there is genuine incompatibility sometimes.
Yeah.
Like, sometimes you are not compatible with a sex partner.
Yeah.
And if that's the case, it's just not gonna be that, Brazzers moment.
I'm trying to think of a couple more cons. See, I don't know. In my household, I never heard of too much porn.
Yeah.
I don't know what would be too much porn. Like, I genuinely don't know.
Yeah.
Do you have an idea?
Yeah.
What?
If that was all I was interested in, and I think that could go for sex altogether.
Mm-hmm.
If that's all I was interested in, if that was all that our relationship was based on, that's not enough for a relationship. At least a long-lasting relationship. Just because once you've scratched the itch, what is there?
But
like, what's the substance of your relationship if it's only sex? To me, that's not typically enough for a long-standing relationship.
Right. But I think everyone can agree with that one, because, like...
But that's a part of it. That's a part, like, if it could be too much porn the way that it could be too much sex. If that's all that you're doing, like, if every time we were getting ready to sit down and eat dinner, I'm watching porn, like, what are we doing here?
No, that makes you a weirdo.
Like, I'm trying to watch The Office.
Yeah, okay. So
I can give you another aspect, though, that's negative. This is probably the way that it has affected me most toxic.
What?
In my relationship. So when me and my wife first got together, we talked about everything. We had a healthy relationship with, porn and each other's consumption of porn.
Mm-hmm.
And it was fine. Until I found one day we were watching porn together, and she she picked a video, and I was like, whoa. You like that? Wait, you like this? Now, mind you, we're watching this because, like, this is the mood. Like, we about to,
not anymore.
We about to figure this out right now. Like, I'm about to give you exactly what you're looking for. And then she shows me, like, what was, oh, this turns me on. This is a video that I like. I'm like, whoa, you like that? No, nah. The mood over. I killed the mood. I was like, wait, nah, I'm not. We not about to. And man, looking back, I feel so bad about that. I feel so bad about my reaction. It was such a childish reaction because it made it seem like I was doing exactly what I assume people don't share their sexual desires for, or their, like, whatever they get, their sexual interests. They don't share their sexual interests because of reactions like that.
Yeah.
Where you have to be made to feel weird about the thing that you like, even if that's not necessarily what you like. It's just what you like to watch. Mm-hmm. And I could say the same. I get the same thing from porn often, where I wouldn't actually do that, but it's cool to see sometimes. And I reacted that way, and I judged her so hard in that moment that we didn't do porn together for months, which, like, it just, I don't know, it put a damper on it. So the added judgment, where, like, she literally had to feel with someone that she's supposed to be most comfortable with. Mm-hmm. She literally had to feel like, a weirdo.
I'm glad I didn't go through that yet, but it kind of scares me because I think I would because of how I am, and I don't be thinking before I talk. I would react the same way, like, what the fuck is you on right now?
Yeah.
And I don't want to react like that, but the proper way, just be like, oh yeah, I'm not really interested in this, right?
What do you mean?
Like, if you're watching porn with your old lady, like, be like, oh, no, I don't get down with this. Whatever she turned on, like, that would be a proper response, right? It's like, I don't get down like this.
I don't know.
What would have been a better reaction for you is what I'm asking.
That would have been a better reaction, sure. I don't know if that would have been the healthiest reaction. That's a good point, though, because this goes back to trying to cater to the other person, but sometimes doing what you want and also allowing someone else to do what they want are mutually exclusive.
Yeah.
Sometimes you can only be the cool guy, or you can only get what you want. You can only do the self-care thing. So in that instance, you could either tough it out because this is what, like, she's getting turned on. If that's your goal here, let her get turned on. Or you could say, let's watch something else. let's watch something that we're both into, which is probably best case scenario. Like, this isn't necessarily doing it for me. Let's see if we can find something that we both enjoy. But I think it's important to at least, man, I was gonna say I think it's important to interact with what it is that she finds. That she finds joy. But maybe it's not. Maybe it's not. Maybe it's not important. I mean,
so what I would recommend is whenever porn my girl shows me that she's interested, I always ask her why. Like, what do you like about this? And with that is when I try to find something that shows that without it being that. If I'm not interested. You see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So, like, that's how I would think is the best way to go about it. Like, ask her why she likes this.
Yeah.
Like, you fuck with that?
Nah.
What?
Nah. I can't lie, no. I can't lie to you.
Damn, for real?
Yeah.
Like, I know, but yeah, that would have been a tough one for me.
Yeah.
Yeah. And I understand you. and I understand the way she felt in that moment. Like
Yeah.
I can't. So it really is tough. Like,
Yeah.
you ever been in that situation? Like the flip side? Like you got shamed?
No, man. Damn, that makes it so much worse. No, because whenever I'm showing, whenever we're watching specifically what Savon likes, I think she comes from a perspective of, I can give that to you. Like, how could I give this to you? I want to give this to you, type of thing.
Oh,
Yeah.
But with your thoughts, I feel like you're
Don't say
giving
it.
yourself
Don't say it.
them guilty thoughts
Oh,
of like, how can I give this to you?
Yeah.
Yeah. So, and you're completely not interested in giving this to me. So I understand the way you're feeling there. So yeah, you think she's coming for, I want to give this to you. And you know, on the other hand, I am not trying to give this to you.
You want to know how bad? You're right. I think you're right about that. Do you want to know how bad I felt afterwards? So this was like 2 days later. I'm like Googling, like I'm checking, like I'm legit actually researching what the psychology is behind this, and why did I have that reaction? Such a strong aggressive reaction. And what I found out was that a lot of women
hear that, man,
are interested.
Oh, fuck, man. Stop. No, listen, you try to make me feel how you feel. And I don't want to be like that. But yeah, you're right. I heard that too. So I closed the book. I did enough hearing. Like,
yeah, no, that was the biggest negative effect that porn has had on my relationship, and it's because it still, I think that's just me categorizing porn as too real again. So that was years and years after I felt like I had gotten over. I had matured past expecting porn to just be real all the time. But I still connected it to reality in a way where, oh, my wife watches this, she must want that. Yeah. I'm not giving that to her. And there was like immediate insecurity, which I don't know. It was unfair to pin my insecurity on her.
Yeah, exactly.
It was unfair for me to connect like the reality of her desires with the porn that she watches. Mm-hmm. So I wouldn't blame porn, but without porn, I wouldn't have had that clash.
See, you different because Toxic Me would have blamed her for liking it. Like,
why do you say toxic you as if there's a you that's not toxic?
No, because it's like women are dead ass wrong for liking that shit though.
That's not true.
Yes, it is. No, but that's just another stigma. Like that's what porn is like, so full of stigmas. That's why
it's heavily stigmatized.
Yeah, and I think that's why it's so hard to talk about it, because it's like,
bro, but who, like, so fucking what, man? So what, bro? So what?
Yeah, but it wasn't so what in that moment. You found out what your wife liked. Someone who she cared about the most criticized her for what she liked. It wasn't so what. So you can't just say so what if you're trying to make this a open conversation to people you know. It's not just so what.
Yeah.
So that's what makes it so tough, because of them stigmas, man.
Yeah. No. Fuck.
Like,
yeah, you're
I
right.
think that's what it is. The stigmas.
Oh, I hate that.
I feel like
I hate that
I
hate that I perpetuated it myself. I hate that there is evidence of me being the same
person that you're against,
the same closed off person that I criticize and say to ignore.
Yeah. Yeah.
But I think the reason that I say so what still stands. Go for it. Open yourself to it. Open yourself to it.
Now, do you mean this with strangers or like friends?
Everyone. You already know, bro. We've had, and we can even pivot this slightly for right now. Embarrassment is internal only. embarrassment is only possible because you are embarrassed. It's not a thing that other people do to you. Other people don't embarrass you. You get embarrassed. It's only possible because that's how you feel. It's an internal feeling. So that's something that you got to deal with that. You know the way that I address embarrassment?
Huh.
Every time I feel embarrassed, I think, whether they know or not, it doesn't change the reality. Like, it's still the case. Whether these people judge you negatively or not, it's still the case. Whatever it is that you're embarrassed about, like, it's still the case. You can't... hiding it doesn't change the fact.
Right, but sometimes it's just hard to live your truth when it's not accepted.
And I don't deny that. I don't deny that.
Like, that's the problem with embarrassment. It's hard. It's like you're the only one on this side of the fence against everyone else. That's what it feels like.
That's true.
Like, it's like trying to move forward while all these people are pushing you back. And it's like...
While it seems like all these people are pushing you back.
They're not, but it feels like they are. And to get past it, it's just like you just gotta not care, though. But it's hard to not care.
It's not even about not caring, man. It's about doing things despite the fact that you care. Like, being embarrassed is something that you're gonna do. You're going to be embarrassed. There's gonna be things that you don't like and that you don't want other people to know or that you don't want to face. Yes, that's gonna be the case. But you gotta do it anyways.
Yeah,
because
can't prevent it.
Not doing it, being embarrassed and not doing something does not change the fact that whatever it is that you're embarrassed about is true. Like, it doesn't change it. Like, your avoidance of the fact does not change the fact. Like, man, if you're embarrassed that you're short, you avoiding being around tall people doesn't change that you're short. You being embarrassed to get a stepladder doesn't change the fact that you're short. It doesn't, like, there's nothing you could do that's going to change the reality of the situation. And because of that, like, you already know how I get down.
Yeah.
The avoidance of reality, I hate it. I'm very staunch against that. And that is what it feels like embarrassment is a lot of times. And don't get me wrong, I get embarrassed. Don't get me wrong, there are times where I don't want to do the thing because I feel embarrassed. Yeah. We just talked about it last week.
And you just accept it.
And I just go through it because it does not change the fact that the thing that you're embarrassed about is a fact. We literally just talked about this. Me going to the doctor, getting a physical.
And this is not our first time talking about embarrassment either.
Yeah, facts. Like, I had to go to the doctor and get a physical last week, and it was a male doctor. And I was like, I don't want to. But what are you going to do?
Not get it done?
No, you got to go get it done, you know? Yeah, that's... So I think all of that to say, in the face of someone who's going to react the way that I did to my wife, the idea is, like, fuck that person. Like, who gives a shit? Who gives a shit that they reacted that way? They're wrong. And it's not necessarily easy to accept that they're wrong because they're being wrong to you. And that's definitely something to address. Like, I don't like the way that this person treated me. I may not want to open myself up to that person again. And I get that. But I don't know. I feel like not opening up isn't the answer to that.
It does prevent that person who is wrong from coming at what you like. It does prevent that by not opening up.
I know.
So that is, would you call that a pro? Overall, I would say no.
No.
Because of I feel like you're missing out on something. But they probably don't feel the way I feel. It would just be a win in their book. But Yeah, I think sex is healthy though. Like it should be like, again. I'm so different because who I talk to, we can have these conversations no matter the time. It could be first thing in the morning, 1 o'clock in the afternoon. Like there's no time frame for anything. And with other people, it's like this should really be sacred.
Yeah, no, I definitely. That's one of the things that makes this kind of conversation difficult on the podcast, because we are anomalous in the fact that I will literally talk to anyone about anything. I will talk to a stranger about the physical that I had. I will talk to a stranger about the deepest, darkest secrets that I have. And I realize that that's not how most people get down. I realize that that's not necessarily the way that most people do things. And I don't know that, I do think that it's the best way to be, but of course I do. I'm me. But I don't know that that's, necessarily how everyone wants to do it. But I think if we opened up more of these conversations, I don't think that would be a bad thing. I don't think having these conversations would be a bad thing, especially in situations where, like, my wife could talk to someone about the way that her husband reacted to her watching a certain type of porn. And if the person that she's talking to, even if they can't necessarily empathize, they can sympathize and be like, well, yeah, I don't necessarily watch that myself, but if whatever it is that I'm watching, if I told someone that I trusted, they wouldn't, destroy me in that situation.
Throw the computer across the room.
But with it being something that you can't talk about, it almost makes it to where you kind of got to deal with that type of shit on your own.
Yeah. And then it makes me think, speaking of porn, like the porn industry is $1 billion industry. And
is it for real?
Yeah.
People pay for porn?
Bruh.
Oh yeah, OnlyFans.
Bruh, it's $1 billion industry.
And OnlyFans is porn, right?
Yes. I would say yes. And people don't consider sex workers actual workers. A lot of people don't.
Yeah, I get it. I get that.
Do you agree?
No, of course I don't agree. But again, I am so far on the other spectrum, on the other side of the spectrum, that I don't know that my opinion here is worth much. I think drug dealers are, like, that's a job, in my opinion.
It's the criteria for a job is so easy. If you have to put in hours and you get paid for it, it's a fucking job. Like, I'm not understanding why you wouldn't consider that a job. Because they love their job. Like, I don't understand that. Like,
they don't necessarily love their job either. Like, it could just be work to some people.
Yeah, true. That is true. And I was about to say something crazy.
Say something crazy.
Like, if my girl was there, she came home and said work was great, I'll lose it. I will lose it. Like,
wow. Oh, I have never wrestled with this one before.
I will lose it. Oh, how was work, honey? Phenomenal. Bitch, what? You feel me? No, that shit would be crazy. Nah.
Wait, bro. Wait.
You can't have good days.
Wait.
You gotta be ready to quit whenever you're with me. For real, bro.
Wait, so Darren, are you saying that you could not be in a relationship with a porn star?
I couldn't.
Yeah, I think I agree with you.
I could not. What if I stumbled across this shit? Nah. And then again, you can't have a good day. I'm not built for it.
But do you think less of someone who could be in a relationship with a porn star?
I used to. Yes.
Wow.
But I'm changing. I know it's wrong. I'm trying to fix it.
I have a lot of respect for somebody who can. I actually go the other way. Like, I wish I could say that I was so secure.
So with me, it was always, if a woman had a lot of sex with multiple men, they lose value. And that's simply just wrong to think that. And I know that, and I'm trying to get out of that. So that's the only reason I think that woman is just less valuable. And that's wrong. I don't like that. I'm trying to fix that. So that's the only reason why I would think less of someone who does deal with someone, a porn star.
Got you.
But once I get over that, no, I wouldn't think less of them.
Now, I don't think less of someone who, like I just said, I actually think that they are way more in
tune with...
What's the word that I'm looking for? They have way more...
just said it.
They have way more security than I do.
Yeah.
Which I respect a lot. But there's something about knowing that other people are touching my woman that just I couldn't do that part.
Yeah.
Like I try to knock out all of the thoughts of people. The fact that my wife had other suitors before me.
They going to throw up too? Yeah, I get that. Yeah, I heavily get that.
But I think that's just, like I said, that's the insecurity, that's the ego thing. And, I can't necessarily say that I don't want that. Like, I want this piece. This is just my toxic, nature. I want that piece of my ego that makes me competitive versus the people who used to be with my wife, because it's like, yeah, look who fucking won. Like,
see, I'm on the fence. I love that aspect, but I will also love that aspect. Like, I wouldn't even have to question that. Like I already know. Like,
nope,
it's me.
No, thank you.
Like, I think it's a win-win.
I have to win every day. I have to win every day.
Yeah, I get you on that one. Yeah, I get you on that one. So, do you think, or before I ask, I think I know your answer. You think society looks down on women sex workers, right?
Oh yeah, no question.
Now, why do you think that is? Besides, they don't think it's a job. Like, do you think?
I think a lot of people don't necessarily understand the relationship between the product and the worker. I think a lot of them see the worker as exactly who they are in the product. If you see her in the movie and she's getting spit on, she likes to, you could just spit on her. Like, you could literally see her at the Dollar General and spit on her and she'll fall in love with you the same way she did on the...
Yeah, that, I feel like, if they think if you're a porn star, I feel like society thinks you're interested in everyone.
Yeah. Yep.
That,
exactly.
And then how society looks at sex as sacred. Like, too many partners, you lose value.
Yeah.
That's also not true. And I think that's another reason they get frowned upon. And also because their dads want them. But I think that's another reason. Like, I think it's something that's going to always be around. And they really try not to talk about it at all.
Ooh, you kind of just stumbled into a topic here that I didn't necessarily see coming, and I don't even know if you intended this, but do you think that the people that are against sex workers are mostly female?
That's a tough one. Fuck. I want to say no. Now, I'm going to say that because I feel like the bashers of sex workers are men, not realizing men is the main product or the main payers of this business, which is hilarious to me. Like, don't hate the sex workers, hate men, because y'all the reason it exists for real. Supply and demand. But no, I don't want to. I hope it's not women. I could be wrong, but I hope it's not women. What you think?
I only hear women against sex work, typically. but I don't hear much. Period. So I don't know that my demographic is necessarily the one.
I'm gonna re-answer that because the men who bash sex workers are normally the ones who get turned down. So I really don't know the answer to that.
Neither of us knows the answer to it.
I don't have an answer for that question. I really don't. Like, I'm on the fence. I can't say, because normally you get turned down. You know how aggressive men get. Oh, you ain't shit. You just sell pussy.
You ugly anyway.
Yeah, like fat and wow. I feel like it's wrong. It would be wrong for women to be against sex workers.
Well, the reason that I said I'm interested in why. Tell me why you think that would be wrong.
A woman who's making it happen in this economy and you're hating, I feel like that's just weird. Like you hating on someone who's getting money and they're not harming other people. What's the problem?
I think they would argue that they are harming other people. So if it was my wife talking to a woman who, quote unquote, stole my first nut of the day, 1 out of the 3 that I had,
the problem is you.
No, clearly.
Clearly. Don't hate on the...
But it's not that no one is harmed here. It's not that no one is, like you said, they, I can't remember how you put it. Their dads want them? Yeah. Is that what you said? Like their husbands too. Like that whole, man, this is going back in the day because I didn't know anything when this first came out, but Ashley Madison, like I guess Ashley Madison was like a cheater's website. Okay. And when it came exposed, or like they exposed it, I don't know who, but they like leaked a whole bunch of information, people who were on the website. Wow. And it was mostly men looking for women to cheat with. And that, that might breed some hatred for sex workers because you know that this man is cheating and you're still going to go, you know what I mean? Yeah. And I think that might be the same thing when it comes to the disdain for sex workers, where it's like, these people are looking for things outside of their marriage, like outside of their vows.
No, you wouldn't blame sex workers for that, would you?
No, not personally.
Even if they know they're cheating?
Right. But I can understand how someone does. Now, they're not blameless if they know. If you know someone's cheating, you're not blameless for cheating with them. I don't think that's how that works. I can't say that it's your fault, but I definitely can't say that it's not.
But if it's not me, it's just going to be someone else.
So what? It doesn't ever have to be you.
I'm just here for the money. Like
it doesn't have to. You don't have to get that money.
Sex workers do get a lot of hate, and I just don't think it's justified.
Yeah, no, I think in most cases you're right. There's one interesting one that I saw on Reddit. Reddit has fantastic porn, by the way.
Better than Twitter, you think?
I don't know. I don't know what Twitter's porn be like.
You dead ass?
I haven't had a Twitter in.
Truth be told, you will never use any website again.
I don't know. Reddit is pretty fire. You've seen what I sent to the chat.
Please understand.
You've seen what I've sent to the chat.
No, please understand. Like, I'm pretty confident every one of our listeners, whoever even vote on this, they would choose Twitter over Reddit.
No one uses Reddit.
No, Reddit.
No one that you know uses Reddit except for me.
Look, listen, man. Twitter is a gem, man. Like, I feel like we doing LeBron versus Jordan right now. And I can tell you right now, Twitter is LeBron. And we from Akron, so you know how we feel about it.
Yeah, that's not fair.
Like, we gotta ask the group chat that one, bro.
I don't know. Like, you don't. I think we would each have to use. We don't have enough information to make this argument. You don't use Reddit enough. I don't use Twitter at all. So
I only have Reddit and Twitter for porn. There's no fucking jokes on that shit for me.
You don't use Reddit almost at all.
That's fair. Because Twitter is so good though. But
okay, but what I saw a post on Reddit where a woman was saying how as a sex worker, once you decide to be a sex worker, that is all that you are. And I was like, and I felt that was
wrong,
incorrect.
Yeah.
But then, like, as I read further, she was saying how, think about all the movie stars that did porn. Think about anybody who had a title before they did porn, they become the blank that did porn. And I was like, damn, that is actually absolutely true. If you think about it, let's say you were the teacher that did porn. You are always going to be the teacher that did porn. Like, even if you do something afterwards, it's like you're the person that used to do porn.
Yeah.
It's like it's always with you.
And then also, especially when people know you, like when you're a big name porn star,
Yeah.
you can't just drop that.
Right. I don't think you even have to be a big name porn star. Like, you literally just have to have done it. If someone can find a video of you, like, fucking, that's it. You are the person that...
Do you hate that? That they can't drop their past? Like
No, I don't hate it. What I hate is that there's the stigma around it. What we've been talking about this whole time is that it's so negative for this person to have a video of them fucking out here. Bro, I have so many videos of me fucking. Now, granted, none of them are out. But having a video of you having sex with someone consensually, it being recorded consensually, those are not interesting. Like, those are mundane. Those are mundane situations where when you find out that someone famous has a sex tape, it's like, yeah, man. Yeah, we all do. Why do I care? Except for the fact that, okay, no, I get it. Sometimes I want to see it.
Tread lightly. I was about
Sure.
to say.
Sometimes you want to see it. But what I'm saying is, why would that be a stain on them? We all have videos. Like, come on, man.
Yeah.
This is a normal thing to do. And I think less than me being upset that they can't outlive their past, I'm just upset that their past would have to be outlived. Like, why would this matter at all?
I just don't like they're not able to move on from it.
But the moving on from it is literally based on the fact that people will use it against them in the weirdest way. Like, if you told me that Tiana Taylor had a sex tape, please send it my way.
Fact.
I am very interested in what's going on there. Now, once you see it, though, that's not like oh man, that's the bitch that did porn. It's like, no, like, she has a great album and a lot of other cool things going on.
No, that's different though, because she didn't put that out there for money. Like, so that's why. So let me get...
Even if they did, though. Oh yeah, no, I guess there is there is a difference there.
So, like, Tony Romo. Tony Romo is an ex-football player. He's a sports analyst now. That's it.
Analyst.
That's what he is right now. But with a porn star, you will forever be a porn star when you're seen from here on out.
But Tony Romo is he's always a former quarterback too.
But they don't bring that up every time they address him. When Mia Khalifa is known for porn, okay? She quit porn almost 10 years ago. I'm exaggerating. Almost 5-10 years ago. Mm-hmm. They still talk about it like she just dropped a video today. Like, she can't let that go.
She was prolific, though.
Like, you think so?
She was prolific.
Not my swag.
No, not my swag either, but she made a lot of vids. Like, she was very popular.
She did her job.
But when you gain popularity, I don't think it's fair for you to expect that your popularity not follow you. You know when famous people say like, "Oh, I can't even go to the club." Like, bro, that was your whole. This is what you were working toward. This is success. This is literally you being successful.
I agree with you in that.
Do I think that Mia Khalifa should be banned from doing regular people shit now? Like if she wants to be, I don't know, a teacher, should she not be allowed to be a teacher? No, I don't think that's the case.
Some people believe that though.
I understand that. I disagree with them. You know, if she wants to be a fucking insurance adjuster, should she be allowed? Yes. But also, should people be able to be like, oh shit, I've seen you before? Yeah. Why wouldn't they? That's the reality of the situation. She was extremely popular.
And it's funny because men are the ones who will like point these. She used to do some fire porn. Like, I don't ever hear women be like, "Oh, she used to do porn," or I don't ever read anything like that. It's always men who point that out.
We do consume more.
Way more.
Yeah,
we're the reason for the $1 billion industry.
Yeah, I can't believe it's a $1 billion industry,
bro. Yeah,
porn is so free.
Listen, porn is so big. I think it's Brazzers or Pornhub is trying to buy a sports stadium, like rights to the stadium, like Progressive Field. They put in a bid for it. I think it's going to get denied because it's porn. But yeah,
that's gigantic.
That's
pause.
So it's a huge industry, and
that's so surprising.
We gotta stop acting.
How are they getting paid? How is the industry getting paid? Like back when it was DVDs and such.
I get that. Yeah.
Yeah, but like now.
But like subscribing to websites and shit like that.
Everything's so free.
Yeah, I don't understand it. I don't understand it at all. So. Before we started recording, you mentioned like people who like are against porn. Like you ever asked the reasons why?
I haven't had the opportunity yet.
Wait, so someone says they're against porn, and you don't just naturally like why?
I'm not necessarily having the conversation with them.
Gotcha.
So someone may say this, and I'm not literally in the conversation with them.
Gotcha. Yeah,
but my curiosity is a burning.
Yeah.
It's a burning.
Now I'm curious who I know who's against porn, so I can welcome them to the dark side.
Older people, most likely.
No, because that's where the DVDs come from. Well, no, they come from magazines.
But that's the thing, bro. Like, think back, and it was weird to have like a bunch of DVDs. Like, if you got a bunch of porn DVDs, you might be a weirdo. You might be a weirdo. I think this was the stigma back then. If you got a sleeve of DVDs.
Time out.
Yeah.
How many bookmarks you got?
Huh?
You got bookmarks? So
0. What? No traces. If you looked at my phone, I have never been on a porn site before.
Oh, I'm a man first. I got bookmarks. I'm not even serious like that.
You don't do private browser or nothing, huh?
No, bro. Yeah, this is my shit.
Yeah, no, I do.
Bro, why though? Like, damn. So... Now, you would consider a bookmark a CD, right?
Yeah. Wow.
What is too many?
You got a whole page, huh?
What's too many?
That. However many you got is too many.
Dead ass?
Yeah. It's more than 3, ain't it?
Oh, definitely. Damn. Am I addicted? Wow.
It's a good place to end it, man. You're a weirdo.
Oh, wow. Yeah, they gotta share their thoughts on this one. I'm curious.
I'm so curious, bro. Yeah. This is one where other opinions I feel that are necessary just because we align so much.
Uh-huh. And I also I'm so curious about this. I'm gonna be upset if they don't share their thoughts because it's an uncomfortable conversation for other people.
Yeah, you're going to be upset that other people decide what they're going to talk about and what they're not going to talk about.
It's weird. I'm weird
because you have a podcast. You have a podcast, so everyone should be willing to talk to you about the deepest, darkest.
I'm definitely going home and talking to my old lady about this.
Yeah, me too.
Yeah, I'm excited.
Yeah, me too.
Fuck.
All right, y'all. Hit us up at the Overly Opinionated Podcast on Instagram. Hit us up at the OO Pod Boys on Twitter, or you can hit us up at the Overly Opinionated Pod at gmail.com. We would love to know how y'all feel about these things. What did we get wrong? What perspectives did we misrepresent, and what do y'all think of our perspectives? Because sometimes we don't even know that we sound crazy. So we do need y'all to keep us in check with that.
Yeah. Reviews are always appreciated, man. Feedback is very important to us.
Absolutely. Give this episode a like. Subscribe wherever y'all have the ability to, if you feel so inclined. And give us a share. That is the biggest thing. Having a podcast has taught me more about sharing content than anything else.
Really?
Yeah. Because off of shares, I have gotten like comments from other people.
Yeah.
I'm like, oh, I got this from blankety blank.
It makes me realize that share does go a long way.
It really does.
Yeah.
And we would love to catch more ears. If you enjoy this enough to listen on a regular basis, or if you enjoyed this enough to give us a like, share it with somebody that you think might also enjoy it, because we want to touch more ears. We want this conversation to be bigger, and we need y'all help doing that. We greatly appreciate y'all listening, and we will see y'all next Wednesday.